Welcome everybody to World of Tanks Replays. My name is Maxwell and today's first replay is from the user Julian R94. That is Julian R94 and he's driving the M41 Walker Bulldog on a standard battle on the Hidden Village. M41 being a tier 7 light tank for the Americans, one of the newest light tanks added to the game. Continuing on from the Chaffee all the way up to the T49. And just a quick apology, there does still seem to be a bug with the replay system. As you can see, the tank seems to be jerking around ever so slightly on the screen. Apologies if that interrupts with your viewing pleasure, but hopefully it should be fixed with the release of 9.5, which is imminent, I hear. So straight away, Julian going to be heading into an advanced position behind these rocks here. Going to see who he can spot out from the enemy team. If there's going to be any early tanks arriving here. You can see the allied heavy tanks are lagging way behind there, so expect to see the enemy heavy tanks coming into position around about now. Still nobody in sight though. It looks like there are a few tanks heading to the village on the far right hand side. Quite a lot of allied tanks and enemy tanks both showing their faces there. We're already a minute and a half into this and still no enemy tanks showing their faces. The allied heavy tanks have now shown up. That IS and that T-34 there. We go. A Lurver appears just as Julian decides to make a move. Spots out the SU-100Y. Decides to fire at him instead, as he is going to be easier to penetrate than the Lurver. This SU-100Y taking considerable amounts of damage to get into position. And in fact, he gets totally taken out before he's even able to fire a single shot. And that's a very quick kill picked up now by Julian. Going to offer some support to his allies here. Was looking at the lower plate of the Lurver there, but doesn't think that he's going to have the penetration to be able to do anything about that. If we just take a quick look there, has 175mm of penetration. The IS is moving in, so Julian's going to flank around behind the Lurver hopefully here and be able to take him out. Just one good shot should be all he requires, and it is all he needs, and that is kill number 2. You see the allies have been totally overrun on that northern flank there. The enemy team pushing a huge amount of tanks through the city, through the village, and not just through the village but through this area as well. Manages to blast both his tracks off there, or at least one of his tracks. Finds a T-37, so going to move in on him. Able to take him out quickly before he's able to get his gun onto target. Finds a Comet as well. Manages to set him on fire and he's going to come in. The Comet misses his first shot and Julian just decides to keep on running. He's got the accuracy on the move, takes him out for a quick kill number 4. So with a slow and subdued start to this game, it's really heating up. Within the next minute or so, he's managed to pick himself up 4 kills. Game is all even at 8-8. Allies arranged across the ridgeline. And the northern, well not the northern, the southern and the left hand side of the map, and the enemy team all sort of hemmed in there in that village across the water. Like I said, concentrating an unusual amount of tanks in that area. It may not have lost the fight for this side of the water quite so easily if they hadn't concentrated so many tanks on that side. GW Panther gets taken out by the T-34. Nobody else in the village really showing themselves. That T-32 did poke himself out earlier, but it looks like he's been dealt with. Gets a great shot through the side of the Object 416. Going to keep trying to put shots into him. That one didn't quite land, and then the Object 416 is into cover. But he's got a T-34 to try and deal with. Somebody's having a shot at this location, so Julian's got to be careful. Probably been spotted here. And again, nobody in the village really showing themselves. So, going to drop back towards his base. Maybe going to try and flank around into the village. We'll just speed this one up a little bit until we get back into the action. There is a VK-3001 shows himself now. And I have a quick shot at him. Unfortunately, not quite able to land. Does take out part of the building, though. VK pokes his head out just a little bit more. But again, Julian not quite able to land any damage onto him. Does find an IS. The IS elects to fire at the T-28 prototype. Probably hasn't spotted the Bulldog in the back here. And that is to his detriment as he gets taken out. And Julian picks up kill number 5. Does see an Indian Panzer across the way there. Gonna look at trying to get a shot onto him. Just has to back off just a little bit. Can he put one through the side of his turret? He can indeed. That's kill number 6. And a well-deserved Top Gun medal so far. Now he's going to make a move in on the village. Hasn't taken any damage yet. Still has plenty of hit points to play with. There is an IS and an SU-100, though both of those tanks have huge amounts of alpha damage. In fact, he could probably only survive a couple of hits from them. It's a good shot onto this IS here. The IS spins himself around. He looks like he's got some ridiculous traverse there. He is able to put the fire out, and he gets taken out by the GW Panther. And I was a bit surprised there by the traverse speed of that IS when he decided he wanted to spin his turret and body round at the same time. He was snapped onto target within a second there. Now Julian going to be hunting down this SU-100. Got just over 400 hit points left thanks to the fact he got set on fire, so the alpha damage of the IS was even higher. If the SU-100 rolls highly, could take him out in a single shot. Does spot the SU-100 on the left-hand side there. It's going to be a coin flip at which direction he is facing. Looks like Julian's going to have a look first. He's facing this way, so don't want to poke himself out. SU-100 fades away, and he's going to make a run around the temple here. Rather than try and wait out the SU-100, he's going to use his speed and agility to flank all the way around this temple here. This SU-100 has half a brain. He's going to have advanced forward. And there he is. He gets him in the rear. There's nothing this SU-100 can do about this. As you can see, he just resigns himself to his fate. It's all over for him. That's kill number 7 for Julian. He's got to move on and try and find this Object 416. So it looks like the Object 416 did indeed deal with the T-34. And he's maybe pushed on towards the Allied base now. They do still have their artillery alive and well in the base. Last time the Object 416 was spotted, he was in and around his own base. So you would expect that's where he may be. He is losing 4 tanks to himself, so you'd expect him to do a little bit of base camping, but no. He's advanced halfway up the map so far. Julian, got to be careful he doesn't fall in the river here. So that would put a dampener on his game, if you pardon the pun. T-28 prototype going to attempt to flank around, but the T-28 prototype not the fastest tank in the world. So Julian going to probably head across this bridge. Yes, he does. He's going to try and maybe head the Object 416 off from the front. Failing that, if the 416 pushes all the way to the base, he'll be able to come up behind him and take him unawares. The Lerva drowns after falling in the water, evening up the game just a little bit in favour of the Object 416. He obviously didn't think that he had a good enough fighting chance, so just drowned himself in the river. Looks like the Object 416 has moved in on the Allied base now. He's going to be going for the GW Panther. Going to see if the GW Panther can take him out with a single shot, or if he's going to be content to hide behind the building here. If Julian can pick this one up, that's going to be kill number 8 and a very well-deserved Radley Walters medal. Luckily, the Object 416 has that turret that doesn't traverse all the way around. One more shot. Didn't quite land that one. He's got to keep running, though, so that the 416 doesn't take him out. Does a skid, shoots, takes him out. Kill number 8, 2,600 points of damage. GG and the victory. So absolutely awesome replay there from Julian R94, showing off his skills in his M41 Walker Bulldog, being all over the map there and really helping win every single flank that he was present on. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, guys, because as always, there is another game coming right up. And our second replay today is from the user Mr. Zoidberg. That is Mr. Zoidberg 1, and he's driving the Comet on an encounter battle on the Sacred Valley. Comet being a tier 7 medium tank for the British. This tank, in my opinion, isn't fantastically great. It gets a very, very lackluster cannon, although it is fast maneuverable. Its armor's a little bit poor, but then it is only tier 7, so you can't expect armor to be fantastic at this tier anyway. But anybody who can make this tank work for them and do well with it is a good player in my eyes, because, like I said, I don't really rate this tank particularly highly. Mr. Zoidberg finds the Leopard 1, or the Leopard even, not a Leopard 1. Looks like he has that auto cannon there, and there's no way that Leopard's going to be able to penetrate a Cromwell, and indeed he doesn't. Although Mr. Zoidberg is electing to fall back here because he doesn't want to take any fire from that left-hand side after being spotted out. SU-100 doesn't seem to have any kind of qualms himself, though. He might find that he's in a difficult position very, very soon. Mr. Zoidberg has found a Tiger 1 and the Panzer IV there. Electing to fire at whoever he can. Panzer IV might take another shot before he's able to fall back, and indeed he does. Both of them taking cover behind the ridge line there. But Zoidberg is able to get a good shot on that Tiger. He's got to be careful though, although he is hull down. And shooting at this Tiger 1, the Tiger 1 will almost certainly have a shot on him. He does have the reload on the Tiger 1. He has a faster firing cannon, although unfortunately he only does about half the alpha damage of the Tiger 1 here. So in a straight up brawl, that's not going to be a battle he can win, although he does seem like he's outplaying the Tiger 1 here, who does manage to take out that SU-100 from earlier. Artillery comes and reins in, and for some reason he turns his turret to the right hand side and manages to take a shot through the side of his turret from Zoidberg there. One more good shot should be all he needs. He lets his cannon close in, but it's not quite enough. Like I said, one more good shot's all he's going to need. The Tiger 1 fires and misses. Zoidberg moves himself out into a little bit more open, and finally able to take him out. That's kill number 1. The Panzer IV is still alive. He's kind of hiding at the back there. He's got to be careful that he's not moving himself into a trap here. Panzer IV has a shot. Looks like he's trying to do some mountaineering. Zoidberg misses his first shot. Shouldn't miss his second as he closes in. Takes him out for kill number 2. Battle progressing fairly evenly at the moment. Allies winning 5 kills to 3 at the moment. Enemy team has a couple of tanks in the north, squaring off against a couple of allied tanks here. Zoidberg thinking about moving around a flank behind them, in front of them, but decides to change his mind and move back. Enemy team evening up the score a little bit here. Looks like the teams are very evenly matched on both sides here. Zoidberg doesn't really want to move himself out in front of that ARL or the M445, but to be honest, the T-29 and IS should have the better of that battle. They should be able to win it without Zoidberg's help here, who finds a Fury out in the open, gets one good shot against him. Can he land a second? Not quite. The Fury not able to get any damage back in return. And this is going to be a fight that the Cromwell should easily be able to win, unless the Fury is very good at angling that front plate. And then Zoidberg's going to find it difficult to penetrate him. Does have a Wolverine coming in from the left-hand side, hopefully to offer some support here. Does land another good shot on that Fury, who misses his return fire and then takes some cover. Wolverine comes in from the left-hand side here. Hopefully he'll be able to get a shot on the Fury from his elevated position. But you can't really rely on it. Looks like the Fury is now focusing on the Wolverine rather than on Mr. Zoidberg. So this should allow him an easy chance just to take him out. That's kill number 3. A little bit of a slow-paced game so far, but this one is just slow, methodical, and by the book. VK3001H moving in on the Wolverine from the south there. Looks like Mr. Zoidberg might be trying to close in on this AMX M445. But to be honest, the IS should win that duel as soon as he pokes himself around the corner. Should be able to take him out, no problem. And indeed he does. And that kind of leaves Zoidberg with nowhere else to go. So he's going to... Well, he's still going to head round to this right-hand side for some reason, but there's nobody here. Going to try and maybe help out with his VK3001. But again, the IS should win that duel as well, even being on low health that he is. So he's decided to change direction here. He's going to head towards the enemy spawn location. Hopefully he can get in around behind the tank destroyers. And maybe even find the artillery here. Not spotting anybody else out just yet. Having a quick look at that VK3001. And he gets hit by the IS here. He's going to move across and try and take him from the rear. Has to squeeze past the corpse of the Fury there. 3001 does take out the IS. The Wolverine's now coming into play. But while the VK3001 is focused on the Wolverine, Mr. Zoidberg should easily be able to get behind him. Takes him out for kill number 4. And now it's going to be a case of trying to get in behind the tank destroyers and the artillery. Game's still fairly even at 10 kills to 9. Allies have won the northern flank now. The middle of the map is completely open and the south looks fairly even. Although the enemy team does have more tanks in the south. That's why Mr. Zoidberg and the Comet and this Wolverine are transitioning down there now. Going to try and spot somebody out for the artillery and for their SU-122-44 to maybe lay some fire down on some people. Finds the VK and the artillery. Takes a hit from the front by somebody. Not sure who that's by. Takes a hit in the side by the GW Panther. GW Panther's coming in for the ram. He's got to take him out as quick as he can. He does take him out before he gets hit. If that GW Panther had rammed him there, the size of that thing might have been enough to take him out. But he manages to just land a shot before the GW Panther makes contact. AT-8 looking in this direction. Looks like he's now switched his attention across to this Wolverine. Mr. Zoidberg going to attempt to get some shots on him. Got to be careful. He's only got 295 hit points left himself. And with the cannon that he's got, he's going to find it difficult to penetrate the AT-8. Going to focus in on his weak spot. Doesn't want to hang around. But the artillery comes in here and takes him out. But it looks like the SU-152 is able to get the retribution kill. And takes out the allied artillery. Game is completely even now at 12 kills to 12. SU-152 down in the valley. Takes out the SU-122-44 as well, which is such a shame because that's their highest DPM tank on the field. And this has now swung into the favour of the enemy team, winning as they are 13 kills to 12. They've got 2 VKs and SU, and the allies have only got Mr. Zoidberg himself with just under 300 hit points and that SU-14-1 artillery piece, which is up on the mountainside there. Probably going to get taken out by the VK3002M any minute now. Finds the 3002D. Going to try and get some damage on him as he backs away. He's able to get a little bit on there, but he's only got 85 hit points left himself now. And this VK3002D should easily be able to charge him down and win this one. Was trying to get into a position to offer some help to the SU-14-1. But it looks like he gets taken out. He didn't make a run for it. Not that he had anywhere that he was able to run to. Now he's got to be careful that he doesn't just get totally charged down by the 3002. It looks like he is going to get charged down, but he bounces one shot. VK3002 not quite able to aim correctly here, so Zoidberg might have the best of this battle. He has the reload, takes him out. Kill number 6, but now he's all alone against an SU-152 and a VK3002M. 3002M has 340 hit points and the SU-152 has 310. The VK was last seen on the mountainside, taking out their artillery, so you can imagine that he's probably making either a beeline for the cap circle or this bridge here. Zoidberg was last spotted taking out the 3002D. Zoidberg going to get into a position where he can hopefully see the cap circle and the mountainside. Does see the 3002. Going to try and get a shot onto him. Rushes his first shot and misses. Looks like the 3002 hasn't spotted him yet. Misses his second shot as well. Plants that one right into the ground just in front of him. Has a blind shot just in case. He can't afford to take any damage whatsoever with only 85 hit points. Looks like the 3002 still hasn't spotted him. Looking all over the place. Not quite sure where these shots are coming from. Hopefully Zoidberg is going to be able to take him out. Looks like he may have spotted him now, although his gun is still looking all over the place. Maybe Zoidberg is somehow still hidden. Takes him out for kill number 7. This just leaves the SU-152. Got to play this one carefully, though. The cannon on the SU-152, even with considerably more hit points, would be enough to obliterate the Comet. But with him only having 85 hit points, the SU just needs to breathe heavily on the Comet. He's going to be able to take him out. Comet now got a square off against him. He is in the cap circle, which means that Mr. Zoidberg isn't going to be able to just waste loads of time. He does still have a minute and a half. But he's got to formulate a plan. And he's got to come in against the SU and take him out. With average rolls, it's going to be probably at least 3 shots to be able to take out this SU. He's out in the open, kind of hiding behind the rock there. Not quite able to land any damage that time. That one didn't go through the armor. That one did. The SU's fired. He's got a little bit of time, although the SU doing the smart thing of backing off behind the rock while he reloads that cannon. His shot went way off into the sky there. Not sure where the SU was firing. Seems like a bit of a running theme with this team. Enemy tanks pointing in strange directions rather than directly at the Comet here. So they've got a rock between them. Comet's going to have the advantage in this situation. SU-152 backs out of the cap circle accidentally there, I'm pretty sure. Not that it really matters, as he's not going to be able to get a base capture off at this time now. So the Comet is fast and manoeuvrable and quick off the mark, but the SU-152 has the traverse speed to be able to keep up with them. Mr. Zoidberg just backing off out of the cap circle. He's trying to get some height to see if he can put a shot through the roof of the SU-152. He can indeed. Having a look to see if he can put a second one in there, but the SU taking cover. Oh, rushed that shot just a little bit, as he didn't quite have time to aim it properly as the SU-152 was manoeuvring. Only got 4 hit points left now, so anybody is going to be able to one-shot the other person here. Mr. Zoidberg doesn't want to get himself into danger. And like I said, he has got the speed and the maneuverability, but this SU should have the traverse to be able to keep up with him, especially at this distance. You can see Zoidberg just heading forwards and backwards, right and then left, in an effort to try and get the SU to make a mistake. If he can get him to make a mistake, he should be able to take advantage of it, but as you can see, the SU got more than enough traverse. Trying to see if the SU's got a bad internet connection, see if he'll oversteer. But it looks like he is staying locked on target perfectly here. There's no way he's going to over-aim this one. Trying the same trick again that worked the first time, which is to get a little bit of height. Has a quick shot there to lure the SU-152 into coming out. The SU-152 comes all the way out there. And Mr. Zoidberg should be able to get round to the right-hand side. He does indeed. Gets a shot through the side after firing a shot under the ground to lure him out. He takes him out, picks up kill number 8. 3,500 points of damage and winning that one for his team. So awesome replay there from Mr. Zoidberg 1. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, send that into replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. Just attach the replay file itself or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I'll catch you guys next time.